welcome you inside Fifth Third Arena on the University of Cincinnati campus for UConn women's basketball on SNY. The top-ranked and undefeated Huskies on the road again to take on the Bearcats. Great to have you with us, everyone. I'm Eric Freed, to be joined in just a couple of minutes by Megan Como. UConn coming off a win at home on Super Bowl Sunday. 96-50 was the final. But there were a couple of bumps in that game. In the first quarter, UConn missed 14 of their 21 field goal attempts. They were better in the second quarter, but overall, it wasn't a great first half. And they were coming off a second half that wasn't great against Temple. And Gino Auriemma wasn't thrilled at halftime.
It's February. If I have to say anything to get anybody going in February, then you know what? We got a lot of problems.
So the message was sent to us. He went and delivered a message to the team in the locker room, and they responded against the Golden Hurricane in the second half. Gabby Williams only played 7 minutes in the first half, scored only 1 point. She ended up with 10 points and 6 assists. Katie Lou Samuelson struggled from outside the three-point line all game. She was 0 for 7, but she was 8 for 13 inside the three-point line, scoring 10 of her 16 points in the second half. And after the game, Gabby addressed her performance on Sunday.
You know, we just have to grow up and be mature about things, starting with me. And, you know, I'm not proud of what I did today at all. And I think my teammates kind of followed my lead, and that's kind of how we had the downfall. So as a leader, I just have to step up.
Joined now by Meg. It's interesting to hear the comments when you think about where this team is. They've won 97 in a row. They haven't lost since 2014, but they have a different standard of excellence, and I'd be shocked if they don't come out here tonight and play their very best basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's think about it. It's an incredibly long basketball season, and at just about February, you got the dog days of February. You're mentally tired, you're physically exhausted, but you have to find a way to fight through. And Gabby is figuring out how to be a prime contributor and yet fight through this wall. She's never had to do it. Collier's never had to do it. Samuelson's never had to do it. But what they have going for them is that they have a coach in Gino Auriemma and Chris Daly who have 30 years experience of getting players through this hump.
They will push and pull to get them there. We'll see how it plays out tonight here at the home of the Bearcats. UConn looking for another win. Another step closer to 100 in a row. It could be 98 with a win tonight over Cincinnati. The lineups and opening tip next on SNY. UConn women's basketball on SNY is brought to you by People's United Bank N.A., putting the power of know-how to work for you. By the Connecticut State Farm agents of the game, Anthony Raggi in stores, Talene Carvalho in Danbury. Speak with them today. And by Toyota. Toyota's Safety First sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Faces show the emotions this season. Lots of smiles, lots of joy. 22 wins and 22 tries will lead to that. Take a look at the starting lineups presented by Subaru, the same starting 5 for Connecticut as we've seen over the last several weeks. Chong, Nurse, Samuelson, Williams, and Collier. For Cincinnati, having a very good year, 14-8 overall, 5-4 in conference play. Their top player is Shanice Johnson, number 21, junior college transfer from Monroe Community College, leading the team in scoring and in rebounding. By Forsberg, Rod Creech, and Nikesha Thompson, our officiating crew here in Cincinnati. And the opening tip is won by UConn. We're underway here at Fifth Third Arena.
I would look for UConn to come out with great energy.
Williams tries it from outside, is short on her first shot. There's the first of what should be many rebounds for Shanice Johnson, who's averaging almost 10 rebounds a game. Bianca Queensberry. Pull up won't go down, and it's the rebound for Williams. The push to Nurse. Nafisa Collier posts up inside and gets the game's first 2.
Good footwork in there by Collier. Had the defender on the high side, and the nice pass leading her right to the hoop.
Johnson waits for Samuelson to blow by and gets her first 2.
Shanice Johnson has made such a difference on this team. She can really, really light it up.
Kia Nurse sets and releases. 3 is too strong. Gabby Williams wins a rebound. To Chong, back to Samuelson, and a good defensive play by Quisenberry, sneaking up. Brandy Tarver, senior out of Chicago. Back for Johnson. And now Anna Owens. Owens leading the team in scoring a year ago, but now Johnson leading the Cincinnati team in scoring. Johnson on the glass, blocked from behind by Collier, picked up by Samuelson. Samuelson will settle things down for UConn a couple of minutes into the game. She'll launch a three, and already a little bit better result from outside the three-point line for Katie Lou.
Well, again, she's not going to stop shooting. You know, she struggled a bit in that first half over the weekend, but shooters just keep shooting.
44% from outside the three-point line this season. Good for 8th in the country. Tarver for Quisenberry. Owens for 2. Anna Owens averaging just under 13 points a game.
Just joined the 1,000-point club last month.
Gabby Williams can't hit, and now Cincinnati will settle things down. Quisenberry, quick release, comes up a little bit short, and Sanaya Chong. Nurse, Samuelson calls for it. Gabby Williams had turned around to set a screen, and it's a turnover.
You know, the key is for Gabby, you know, she wasn't happy with the way she came out on Sunday. Well, she missed a couple shots here or there, an errant pass thrown to her. Want to see if she can just shake it off and make something happen here on the defensive end. She's got a tough assignment, Gardner Johnson.
Chelsea Warren, shut off by Samuelson. 8 on the shot clock, knocked away by Collier, and UConn trying to run off the turnover. Nurse will try a 3. Collier with the putback, count it, and the foul.
Again, Collier in the right place at the right time. She was watching that ball. No one boxed her out. Figuring the ball was going to come long. So always in good positioning.
Nafisa went for 24 points and 9 rebounds against Tulsa, was 10 of 13 from the field. She's 22 of 27 in the last 2 games coming into this one. The American Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season. Picked up that award on Monday. Owens, and foul called on Samuelson.
Quick first step by Owens.
Head coaches are very familiar with each other. Of course, Gino Auriemma, 977 wins, even with C. Vivian Stringer for 4th on the all-time list. And Jamel Elliott, who spent 12 seasons as a UConn assistant, outstanding player, part of 519 wins combined as a player and a coach at Connecticut. We'll talk more about Jamel and the turnaround here this season for this program as we go along.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal year. I'm happy for Jamel.
Quisenberry, rejected, spiked down by Collier. Nafisa 2nd in the conference, 38 blocks now in the season. Samuelson. Gabby tips it out to Nurse. Yeah, Nurse for 2.
Gabby making things happen, keeping the ball alive.
Quisenberry launches a 3. Bianca Quisenberry, 2nd on the team in 3s made and attempted, so she will put it up, shooting at 30%.
There's a confidence about this Cincinnati team this year we haven't seen in years past.
Especially in this building. Last year in this building, UConn beat Cincinnati 107-45. Now Cincinnati can tie it with a 3 here in the opening minutes of the first. The wins are up for Cincinnati. They're scoring better than 7 points a game compared to last year, allowing 11 points fewer per game defensively compared to a year ago. Can't score that trip. And now Sanaya Chong can't leave her wide open. She is just in a zone right now.
She's just making good play after good play after good play.
17 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, no turnovers in Sunday's win over Tulsa. Gabby, great defense on Anna Owens, who's down on the baseline, and now UConn with numbers the other way. Samuelson, the entry pass, and a foul is called on Brandy Tarver. Sanaya Chong's been so accurate from the outside. She's now second in the American, shooting at better than 43%. From outside the arc, UConn up by 6 first quarter. Back at the 17th meeting all time between UConn and Cincinnati. The Huskies have won the 16 previous meetings. They're on top by 6 here in the first quarter as we check in for the first time with Justine Ward. Hello, Justine.
Hello, Eric. Well, Gino Auriemma always makes it a point to huddle up with his team at the end of shoot-around before these games. And today's message lasted a little longer, so I had a chance to ask Gabby Williams, hey, what did he say in that? And basically he told the team, I shouldn't have to ask for energy. It should already be there. It's the one thing the coaching staff can't really help you with. So bring the hustle and bring the energy. Guys?
Thanks, Justine. You know, following up what we talked about at the top of the telecast, you know, there were some long faces in that game on Sunday, a game that UConn won by 46 points. And sometimes there's a pat on the back for some of these players. Sometimes there's a kick in the backside. It was kick in the backside time, it felt like. Williams out of the timeout, can't score. The rebound pulled down by Angel Reiser into the game, freshman from Zebulon, North Carolina.
Well, one thing you can't do on this UConn Husky team is feel sorry for yourself. If you're not playing well, well, then you just have to figure out a way to help the team. And you can't wallow in your own sorrows.
We've got a pretty good look at Shanice Johnson's game so far. Not afraid to take it from the outside, face up, put it on the floor, battle on the inside. This will be UConn basketball.
It's important that Cincinnati have a player not only that can score, but she can score off the dribble.
Samuelson using the Collier screen. Rebound for Reiser.
Cincinnati doing a nice job on the defensive boards as well.
Over the top to Quisenberry. UConn's defense has been there in the early going. Cincinnati is 3 of 12 from the field. Samuelson hits the gas, finishes with the left hand. Pretty finish by Katie Lou Samuelson. She has 5 early points.
Nice aggressive turn and go to the basket hard.
Johnson, great matchup here. Johnson will try the 3. Kia Nurse with the rebound. Johnson, pretty good three-point shooter at 40%. She's made 17 this year. Again, Collier, once she gets in that deep, it's over.
Money.
7 points for Nafisa Collier. UConn has stretched out to a 10-point lead here in the first. Sanaya Chong showing off the defense and then batting it away from Johnson up ahead to Nurse. It's a 9-0 run for Connecticut, and Jamel Elliott will call time. So what have you noticed here in the early going in this game, the opening moments in this game? Defense been really strong.
Yeah, it's great team defense, and Collier once again running the floor, finding a way to get the shot off while being contested. But they turn defense into offense, but their team defense tonight has been pretty good. And one of the other things that we all get sort of, I think, lulled into thinking, well, gosh, UConn, they're going to beat Cincinnati and they're going to win by 40. Well, it takes a while to get there. Their opponents are not just going to roll over and die when the ball goes up. So it's and that's what UConn has to guard against too. You can't expect to have a 40-point lead in the first quarter, and that's where the patience comes in and maturity, and that's all part of the learning process.
Justine touched upon it as well. Shoot around today, it's upbeat. Everything, you can get the idea where Gino can give a quick answer at halftime, walk off the court as Gabby Williams steps up, takes it away, sprints to the basket, and finishes. First points for Gabby Williams.
Again, defense into offense.
But it's not like this team's in the doghouse right now.
I know, yeah.
There's these moments where it's like, okay, pull yourself out of it. We'll help pull you out of it. And as you expected here, Megan, it's been a great start for Connecticut, especially on the defensive end. No easy looks at the basket.
No, everything's contested.
Nurse, Williams, Collier, contact, count it, the foul.
Nice unselfish pass, too, from Gabby Williams. She could have shot the ball there from the baseline. See, she was open, but unselfishly gave to her teammate who draws the foul. See, no one near Gabby Williams. Way to share the basketball.
UConn excellent when it comes to assists. Best in the country, 23 assists a game. Down to a 17-point lead with 1:20 to go. Cincinnati 1 for their last 9 from the field. It's a drought of over 4 minutes. Shot clock at 7. Three-pointer won't go down from Tanisha Coleman into the game, a freshman. Now Williams. You know, UConn could really sense it right now, and now a mistake. Collier moved down to the block. Williams threw it to the middle of the lane, and a turnover for Connecticut. And it's kicked by UConn, Cincinnati basketball. Final minute of the first quarter. It's one of those quarters, though, where you can count the mistakes. You don't need all 5 fingers on one hand to count the mistakes for Connecticut in this quarter, whereas the first quarter on Sunday, you had your socks off at this point.
Yeah, they look sharper here. They do. And it all starts with just playing good, solid defense.
Great defense, and a turnover, traveling violation called on Chelsea Warren. That's the 4th turnover for the Bearcats. Kia Nurse will bring it across half court. It's a 14-0 run for UConn. Samuelson. Collier has the long rebound off to Katie Lou to the basket for 2 more. 7 points for Samuelson, 9 for Collier in the first. "12 seconds to go in the quarter. Nurse. Pull-up rolls in for 2. 6 points for Kia Nurse, and that will be it. 28-7, UConn, an 18-0 run to end the first quarter. They'll carry that into the second quarter, and the momentum coming from the defense. Gabby Williams and the Huskies, great start here in the Queen City. Bit of a change from Sunday. Great first quarter for UConn. 28-7 the score. They are on an 18-0 run. They carried into the second quarter. Before we start the second quarter, here's Meg with Como's Court Vision.
You know, we talked so much about their defense. Check this possession out. Everyone knows where the ball is, where their man is. Now watch this. The screen coming on Gabby. She and Chong communicate. They switch. Now another exchange. Watch this, okay? They change it again, and then Collier back there to clean it up. Her 4th block of the evening.
UConn shooting 57% from the field in the first quarter, holding Cincinnati to 17% shooting in the opening quarter. Huskies responding to the challenge from their head coach, Crystal Dangerfield, into the game for the first time. Sanaya Chong heads to the bench. Johnson nowhere to go. Great help by UConn. Dangerfield mixing it up on the inside, and Collier comes away with a loose ball. Crystal with her head up took a little sideways look over to Gabby Williams, but she was guarded. Samuelson to Gabby, somehow got it back, couldn't score, and a jump ball possession arrow. UConn basketball.
That was a sweet pass from Samuelson. Won't get the assist as Gabby came up short on the shot.
On the baseline, out of bounds play, a layup for Gabby Williams. Everything clicking right now for top-ranked UConn. Owens defended by Dangerfield. This will be a good challenge for the freshman. Owens, very good offensive player. Dangerfield out there aggressively on her. Sticking with her. Dangerfield got a hand in on the dribble, but kicked into the corner, and a three-pointer knocked down by Sam Rogers, a freshman out of Cincinnati, just into the game. Missed 10 games this season with a knee injury, returned on January 24th, not shy about getting right into the mix. Cincinnati sets up in the zone. Johnson tipped it. Perhaps an inadvertent whistle from Mike Forsberg. It will be Cincinnati basketball. Williams out on Owens on the switch. Dangerfield reaches in. Turnover. Collier. Corner for Kia Nurse. Open three.
Defense into offense.
9 points now for Kia Nurse. Natalie Butler getting set to check into the game. The lead quickly out to 24 for UConn. And Kira Going, sophomore out of Georgia, number 2 in the game. Jamel Elliott rotating a lot of players in. Collier out to block the three-point attempt. Dangerfield drops it down to Collier. Beautiful pass and a strong finish by Nafisa Collier. Another timeout called by Cincinnati.
Another look at how Crystal Dangerfield is a point guard of the future.
The future could be now. 35-9, UConn, timeout, Cincinnati. Just outside of Fifth Third Arena, the Bearcat stands guard. And inside, huge crowd here today. They average, attendance-wise, 623. We may have triple that here inside the building today because there are a ton of fans who have come out here, as we gauged before the game. A lot of youth groups, a lot of travel teams who have come here together to watch the #1 team in the country, the UConn Huskies.
Well, and as we often see around the country, tons of UConn fans here.
Johnson scores. That's her second field goal. 4 points for the junior. Natalie Butler on the floor with Crystal Dangerfield, Sanaya Chong, Nafisa Collier, Katie Lou Samuelson. UConn looking for 3 more. Butler kept it alive. Collier was calling for it, but Butler took a moment to settle it. Now Collier steps out for a 3. How about that? 3-pointer for Nafisa Collier. Now 9 of 24 from outside the 3-point line this season. 15 first-half points.
She could score from anywhere.
UConn putting the pressure on just across half court, and a bit of a rainmaker from Sam Rogers. Second 3-pointer for the freshman. Samuelson tried to answer back, could not. Johnson gets it back. Open look for 3. Collier with a rebound. That's 7 rebounds for Nafisa Collier already. Samuelson, Dangerfield. Owens trying to get around Crystal Dangerfield. Couldn't get the basket to go. Rebounded by Butler. Samuelson. Game getting a little sloppy, but Katie Lou Samuelson cleans it up by finishing and getting fouled. She'll go to the free throw line to try to finish off the 3-point play.
And again with the left hand here. Did a nice job of initiating that contact.
Foul was on Johnson. That will be her first personal foul. I think it ended with a good job.
Yeah, words of wisdom.
The 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. I think a good job is in order. Looks like a lane violation called on Cincinnati, so another chance here after the miss for Katie Lou Samuelson. Chance to go into double figures. Takes advantage of the violation by Cincinnati. 41-15. 6 minutes to go, second quarter. Gabby Williams back into the game. Sanaya Chong takes it away, tries to dribble through traffic, and a foul is going to be called on Owens.
And all the good we've seen Sanaya Chong do this year, her defense is much improved.
Katie Lou Samuelson heads to the bench. Kia Nurse checks in, and we check in with Justine.
Well, listening in on that huddle, Eric, in transition on offense, Gino wants to keep the ball in the middle of the floor. He's asking his players to see both sides and throw it out to either side in a hurry. Defensively, he talked about their size advantage. He said in this case, he wants them to stay low because he wants them to force the other team to take those jump shots, because he said the minute they go high, they're going to go low.
Thank you, Justine. Owens defending Owens. Flying in for the rebound was Reiser. Butler hits the deck. Cleaned up by Johnson.
Had to work hard for that one.
Dangerfield, Williams, Nurse, Butler, Chong. The five on the floor right now for UConn with 5 to go in the first half. Chong. She thought that one was down.
She sure did. The way she started running back, it looked like it was right in front of us and looked like it was going in.
So now Cincinnati will settle things down. Rogers has provided a spark off the bench with 6 points. Johnson. 2 more for Shanice Johnson. She played her high school ball in Philadelphia. She played 1 year of college ball at Delaware, transferred for VCU, didn't play there. Played 1 year at Monroe Community College, and it seems like she's found a home here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they love her.
Butler can't get it to go. Quisenberry up quickly to Owens. On the shot clock. Johnson, Nurse backed off, so Johnson will take advantage. First Cincinnati player in the double figures. She has 11 of their 22 points. Now a turnover for UConn. Things getting a little sloppy here, which is played to Cincinnati's advantage, but then Gabby Williams comes back and gets the block. So Kia Nurse waits for Sanaya Chong to help out, but Johnson was there for the block. Dangerfield stripped it away, ripped down by Cincinnati, and now Owens will hit the brakes one more time.
Sloppy is kind.
So
it's
when,
a kind word.
And when Gino Uriema wants things to get cleaned up a little bit on the court, he wants Nafisa Collier into the game, and she's at the scorer's table ready to come in. Johnson to Quisenberry. Dangerfield trying to box out Johnson, and it was last touched by Shanice Johnson. Connecticut basketball. UConn's fabulous February home schedule includes 3 weekend games and a top showdown against South Carolina on the 13th. Pick your seats and print it home at UConnTickets.com. Butler to the bench. Collier into the game. Original starting 5 out there for UConn as Dangerfield sits down as well.
Dangerfield gave some good minutes once again. Her second full game back.
Gabby Williams for 2.
Yeah, that Temple game, what'd she play? 18
She played
minutes?
17 minutes against Temple, 27 minutes. No, 18 minutes and then 27 minutes in the second game. And when asked today if there were any restrictions, Gino Uriema said nope. Looks like she's back to full strength. Timeout called here by Cincinnati. That's the 3rd timeout they've called here in the first half. 2:22 to go. 43-22 game. And coming up at halftime, Gary Apple and Carol Walters will be by for the first half recap. Plus, you will hear from Crystal Dangerfield on why she picked UConn. That's coming up on the halftime show presented by your local Ford dealer. So after pretty flawless first quarter where UConn went on an 18-0 run to end the quarter and led 28-7. Been a couple of bumps here in this second quarter. The lead is 21.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Cincinnati knocking down some shots. Shanice Johnson making her presence felt.
Out of the Cincinnati timeout, Quisenberry to Owens. Williams out to Owens, 8 on the shot clock. Quisenberry, pass off the leg of Tarver. Kia Nurse. Nurse takes it right to Tarver, and a blocking foul called on Brandy Tarver, and 2 free throws coming up for Nurse.
You just knew Nurse was going to take it in there. Just so tough. And she knew she was going to get fouled.
Yeah, lean in, get the contact, get a trip to the free throw line. And when you're an 85% free throw shooter, why not? Second in the conference, first on the team. Nurse into double figures now with 10. Had a solid game against Tulsa. 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting. You see her shooting numbers tonight.
She's been just such a steady force for this UConn team. Not flashy necessarily, but just steady and consistent.
Leading the team in minutes played, 32 a game. She's out there quite a bit. Owens with the quick release and Nurse with the rebound. Kick it over to Chong. Chong can't get to 3, but Collier battles for the offensive rebound. Another rebound for Collier, and Gabby Williams finishes. Good find by Collier on the Williams cut. $15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for Nafisa. Picking up her dribble was Quisenberry, and UConn is forced to turnover. 9th turnover for the Bearcats.
Well, tracking down the offensive rebound here, Nafisa Collier, and then moving well without the ball, she finds Gabby Williams.
And on the other end, UConn doing a good job defending without fouling, as they normally do. They've committed just 1 foul here in the first half. Final minute of the opening half. Samuelson, wide open look. I don't know how it stayed out, but it did.
That defied physics.
Johnson back on the floor for Cincinnati. Williams reaches in to knock it away. Owens throws it into the backcourt, and Chong's not going to let her go out of bounds. She's going to pick it up. Williams to Nurse. Back outside to Samuelson. Collier inside for 2.
Nice pass from Samuelson.
For a split second, it didn't look like it was going to end well for UConn that trip. And a traveling violation again. The defense there, the help defense, just putting all sorts of pressure all over the Cincinnati team.
Swarming. Gino calling a 30-second timeout to draw up a quick play here.
2.4 seconds to go.
A good opportunity. You never know at what point you might need a last-second play, and this is a good opportunity to practice it.
Well, they talk. We could show you what the player of the week in the American has done so far in this game. Nafisa Collier, another rock-solid game. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists in the first half.
Well, she uses her body so well. She runs the floor well. She's got terrific hands. And she just has a knack for being at the right place at the right time. And she just finishes.
Perfect 7 of 7 from the field. Williams goes for the long pass, and I don't think anybody made contact, so that means that Cincinnati will get the basketball from the point where Gabby threw it in.
Thought she was Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
She's more of a receiver, though. Tight end.
Well, I don't know. Her arm's not that bad. I mean, Tom Brady wasn't perfect. He was close to it, though, in
He
the
sure was.
Super Bowl on Sunday. Sanaya Chong steps in to knock it away. That'll take a little time off the clock. 1.3 now to go. Rogers. Gonna have to be something quick. Owens will get off a shot at the buzzer, and it's off the mark. But rock solid first half for UConn in that first half. 49 points on the board, holding Cincinnati to 22 first half points.
Great energy. They came out with a real focus defensively to assert themselves in the game, and it was successful.
All right, Justine, take it away.
Gino, an 18-0 run in that first quarter. Is this the kind of energy you had been wanting?
Yeah, you know, it starts with our defense. You know, when our defense is really good, then everything just kind of flows from there. And we get out in transition a lot, which is always a big key. And, you know, we do something that's really good. You know, we throw it to Fisa a lot. So that accounts for a lot of those runs.
All right, thanks, Gino. Eric, back to you.
Justine, thanks very much. 49-22, our score at halftime as UConn shoots for their 23rd win this season. And the Fisa Collier, great first half for UConn. Gary and Kara are coming up next. UConn women's basketball on SNY is brought to you by Subaru of New England, supplying all-wheel drive vehicles with a passion for winter adventure. By Connecticut Lighting Centers and Restoration Lighting Gallery, so much more than just a lighting store. And by the Connecticut State Farm agents of the game, Steve Boyle in Fairfield County, Matthew Bubb in Bristol. Speak with them today. Look at the statue of the Big O, Oscar Robertson, star here at Cincinnati before heading on to become Mr. Triple-Double in the NBA. Coach Randy Edsall is back and ready to lead UConn football to the future. Be part of the excitement. Get your season tickets today. Reserve your seats now at UConnTickets.com. First half stats are presented by Bob's Discount Furniture. UConn shooting 50% from the field and holding Cincinnati to 27% shooting. UConn still struggling from outside the three-point line. It's been kind of a trend here over the last 3 games, but the defense there, points off turnover, 16 for Connecticut, 0 for Cincinnati. Eric Fried, Megan Como back with you here courtside at Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati. Really started with the defense for UConn, but maybe even a step before that with the intensity they brought onto the court right from the very opening tip. Yeah,
great energy, the intensity, and they really came out, put their foot on the gas, and never gave Cincinnati a chance. And as we've seen so many times, they take away the opponent's best player. So Shanice Johnson really didn't have a chance to get going for Cincinnati. But defensively, they set the tempo, and then they turned that into a lot of offense. And like you said, not shooting great from three-point range, but they're getting good shots. They're just not dropping.
Johnson 5 of 12 from the field in the first half. Anna Owens 1 of 9 from the field in the first half. The reverse, Nafisa Collier, 7 of 7 from the field in the first half. How about this line for Collier? 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks.
Wow.
Now, you could say take the rest of the game off because that is a full game stat line for most players, but you still have 20 minutes to go here in Cincinnati. 2 UConn players in double figures. Kia Nurse had 11 points. Oh, 3 in double figures. I beg your pardon. 11 for Kia Nurse, 10 for Katie Lou Samuelson. Connecticut with 16 assists on 20 field goals in the first half. Cincinnati basketball to start the second half. Johnson, tough drive, sticks with it. Collier may have gotten a piece of that one from behind. Johnson tips it back out. Good hustle play by Shanice Johnson. Johnson leading the way for Cincinnati with 11 points.
Gabby Williams looks a little shaken up. Hard to see what happened.
Seven on the shot clock. Quisenberry defended by Chong. Now off to Tarver. Tarver. And a shot clock violation. A stop for UConn. And the good defense continues for the top-ranked Huskies.
It's not what Jamel Elliott wanted to see, but for UConn to come out with that same intensity on the defensive end speaks to their growing maturity.
Watching Williams on the other end, just adjusting her socks, maybe catching her breath a little bit, but nothing out of the ordinary. Collier, 8 for 8. So it's hard for someone who's shooting 67% from the field to raise that percentage, but Nafisa's well on her way.
Those are just ridiculous numbers.
22 of 27 over the last 2 games entering this one. So if my math is correct, it's now 30 of her last 35 from the field. Nurse. In, out, back in again. 14 points now for Kia Nurse. Warren can't score. Quisenberry had scored the first field goal of the second half for the Bearcats. Samuelson. And a foul called on Kia Nurse after the rebound. 67.5% to be exact coming into this game for Collier. Good for that top spot.
Just so consistent in her approach too.
Johnson touched it last, knocked it out of bounds. UConn basketball. .30-point lead for UConn. They had an 18-0 run to close out the first quarter, an 8-0 run to close out the second quarter. Williams back outside to Nurse. Kia Nurse having a strong game. 17 points now for the junior.
And what a great skip pass that was from Gabby Williams.
Tarver. Collier closes out the corner. Nurse got a fingertip on it, and she's going to get called for the foul and helps Johnson up after the trip.
So watch, dump it inside. All eyes looking down there. The best pass you can make is that skip pass to the other wing. So difficult for the defense to adjust.
Third assist of the game for Williams, averaging 5.5 a game to lead the team. Owens. Three-pointer for Anna Owens, her first 3 of the game. Samuelson on the cut for 2. So smooth, just runs the offense, catch right in rhythm, knock down that mid-range jumper.
She reads the defense so well, trailing on the screen, so she curled.
Before the shot, a foul called on UConn's Gabby Williams.
You know, they do a good job of spreading the floor, and you can't follow her around a screen because she'll make you pay.
And Sanaya Chong gets whistled for the foul. Be the first personal on Chong, 2 on Nurse, 1 each on Samuelson and Collier.
Really good defense there on that inbound play. Took away everything Cincinnati wanted.
Nurse, little contact with Quisenberry. Ducking inside, but using an extra step to do so was Chelsea Warren.
And Jamel Elliott was trying to implore the officials, come on, she was pushed, that's why she walked. Well, you gotta try.
Six minutes to go in the second quarter. Chong's three won't go down. Collier crashing the boards, and a second chance here for Connecticut. Another fantastic game for Defisa Collier. A look for Samuelson for two.
Another pretty pass from Williams from the high post.
21 assists now for UConn. Little breakdown as Warren had an easy opening to the basket for her first 2 points. Chong. Williams on the baseline, looking for the contact and getting the contact. And Gabby Williams will head to the free throw line to shoot a couple. UConn doing a great job piling up the assist again here tonight.
You got to turn and face, right? Gabby Williams from that high post, and Samuelson cut hard off of her, and her defense trailed, and it was another good find from Williams.
21 assists on 25 field goals for Connecticut. Now Crystal Dangerfield, who had 3 assists in the first half, will come into the game for Sanaya Chong.
More quality minutes for Chong, who's making the most of her senior year.
Couple of free throws made by Williams. She's in the double figures with 10. That's the 4th UConn player to reach double figures. Outstanding team performance here on the road for Connecticut. And a foul from behind on Crystal Dangerfield will send Johnson to the free throw line. Dangerfield from behind, so these will be the first free throw attempts of the game for Cincinnati. Johnson 75% from the free throw line. Held in check against USF, 8 points, 7 rebounds. That was a 72-52 loss for Cincinnati. We talked about the great start they got off to. 3-game losing streak right now for the Bearcats to bring them down to 5-4 in the American.
But they had the best start in conference play to start the season this year.
Samuelson's pass off the hands of Williams, but Connecticut still wins it. Beautiful little hesitation. Samuelson tried to go to the left hand again, but Cincinnati turns her away. Owens. Back to Johnson. Johnson leans in, strong take to the basket for 2.
And she looked at the official, Rod Creech, as she's running by, going, come on, man, I was bumped. That was a nice aggressive take to the hole.
She is a handful.
Yeah, she could score in a variety of ways.
She got her hand in on that pass to knock it out of bounds. 18 seconds on the shot clock for UConn. When we come back to Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati, 30-point lead for the Huskies. 30-point lead for UConn. They have outscored Cincinnati 14-11 here in the third quarter, and they've shot 62% from the field. It helps when you have 21 assists on 25 field goals, and Defisa Collier has 5 of those 21 assists here today. She's played really well.
Yeah, she works hard. Great footwork, gets herself in a good position, runs the floor exceptionally well. You know, sets the screen, rolls, can score from long range. She can hurt you in a variety of ways, and just spectacular numbers here this evening.
Just to underscore her development this year, she had 1 double-double all of last year. Obviously, many more minutes for her this year, but these freshmen, Samuelson and Collier, have made quite the leap to their sophomore years. Out of the timeout, Samuelson wide open look for 3. Williams with the defensive play. Nurse to Samuelson. Samuelson to Dangerfield. Dangerfield for 2.
What a pretty fast break. And it all started with the athletic steal by Williams.
Five quick points out of the timeout. Owens. Dangerfield recovers defensively. 3.5 to go in the quarter. Quisenberry wide open in the corner. Can't hit the three, and Nurse with the rebound. To Dangerfield. Dangerfield, pretty little pass inside to Collier. Collier finds the cutting Williams for two more. Another assist for UConn.
There's a rare smile. We haven't seen a smile out of Gavin Williams in a while.
.24 assists on 28 field goals for UConn. And another rebound for Collier. Williams posting up on the freshman. Kicked outside, Dangerfield sets, fires, and knocks down a three.
I'd say her confidence is back.
10 unanswered points for Connecticut. Rogers, well, she has been good from outside the three-point line. That's the third three-pointer she's made here tonight. Samuelson tries to answer on the other end, cannot, but Collier out of nowhere sprints to the spot and grabs the rebound.
Gosh, that young lady is always running. Not jogging, running.
21 points now for Collier. 9 for 9 from the field. That's short. Williams will pick it up. Under 2 to go. Dangerfield. Samuelson will try again and make it.
It's pretty staggering to me the amount of wide open three-pointers Katie Lou Samuelson has gotten here tonight.
Again, the shot hasn't been perfect for her. She's 3 for 10 from outside the three-point line, but right now, Connecticut seems to be scoring at will. And it's piling up like the snow is going to pile up back home on Thursday. Not this time, though, but guess who? Collier kept it alive. Kia Nurse. Gabby Williams, an offensive rebound. Well, the work ethic is just off the charts right now for Connecticut. Collier with the finish and the foul, a chance for a three-point play.
Can't question their energy here tonight. Relentless on the offensive boards. And a nice unselfish pass.
I mean, if you throw it to her, she's going to catch it. It doesn't matter if you throw her a fastball from 6 feet. She's going to catch it, and odds are she'll finish it. And she has not missed here tonight. She's 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 10 for 10 from the field. Top that, Justine.
Well, Nafisa Collier said her recent success, Eric, has all come down to confidence in practice. As far as that field goal percentage you mentioned, she said she comes in before practice to work on shooting with Chris Daly, where they have her practice game-like shots in situations. I think a true testament to this is Gino Auriemma, who said that if Nafisa, Gabby, or Katie Lou misses, he's genuinely surprised. Guys.
I think that's played out here today. Thank you very much, Justine. 10 for 10 as Collier goes to the bench with Samuelson and Nurse. Gabby Williams turns and scores 2 more.
I would say they have surmounted that mid-season wall we talked about at the top of the show. This team looking so sharp, so efficient. And they look fresh. You know, they had looked a little tired in moments of the last several games.
Tyler Irwin into the game for Connecticut along with Natalie Butler. Shot clock down to 4. Heaved up to beat the clock by Coleman. Heads out of bounds with 2.7 to go. See if UConn can push something up quickly here. Substitution as Rogers comes into the game. Tarver heads to the bench for Cincinnati. And Dangerfield will just run out the clock. Connecticut closed out the quarter on a 20-3 run to stretch the lead out here at the end of 3. And Nafisa Collier, perfect tonight. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists for Connecticut. Coming up on an all-new Gino Auriemma show, Gino talks about the biggest surprise this season, and you'll hear his thoughts on whether student-athletes should be paid on the Gino Auriemma show, presented by UConn Health, tonight after the postgame show, and it's only on SNY. Tonight's UConn trivia question presented by Mercedes-Benz. Who is the last Husky to shoot 10 for 10 in a single game? A timely trivia question with Nafisa Collier, a perfect 10 for 10 here tonight. Take a look at the bench. Sanaya Chong, the only original starter on the floor right now. We'll crunch the numbers here, but they're pretty impressive. UConn shot 13 of 19 from the field in the third quarter, 68%. They are at 56% for the game. Molly Bent, Natalie Butler, Kyla Irwin, Sanaya Chong, and Crystal Dangerfield, the 5 on the floor right now for Connecticut. Molly Bent, good pass to Natalie Butler, who hesitated for a split second, but it didn't cost her. First points for Natalie.
Yeah, it won't cost you in a game like this tonight, but Monday night against South Carolina, you know, postseason, it very well may.
Shot clock winding down here for the Bearcats. Irwin fighting for the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Molly Bent. It will be Cincinnati basketball. It's been a story of runs to close out each of the quarters, Meg. An 18-0 run to end the first quarter for Connecticut had them up 28-7 at the end of one. An 8-0 run to close quarter number 2 had them up by 27 at halftime. A 10-0 run to close quarter number 3 put them on top by 47 after 3.
We have seen this season, first and third quarters, they have really put teams away.
Rogers to Johnson. Johnson takes it at Butler. Follows her own miss, and Butler came down for the foul. That'll be the first personal foul on Natalie Butler.
See, you held her there. Good defense by Butler, but the only problem is you can't let her get the loose ball. You got to come up with it.
Johnson adding to her team high total, 16 points. She's a rebound away from a double-double.
Well, and you got to give Johnson credit at 5'11" for going in there. She's a tall-looking 5'11".
Yeah, she's listed at that number, but she plays bigger.
Yeah, she sure does.
Much like Gabby Williams plays bigger.
And Butler's 6'5".
Sanaya Chong, little left-handed runner by Sanaya, now with 5 points. You notice all the pink accents on these Cincinnati players. This is their pink game, play for K game. UConn will be having their wear pink game coming up Saturday at Gamble Pavilion when they take on SMU. I had a SMU lock there for a moment. Dangerfield followed up her miss, got it to Bent. Bent got it to Butler.
Tremendous hustle by Dangerfield to keep that play alive.
It's SMU on Saturday, then South Carolina in stores after that. 7.5 minutes to play here at Fifth Third Arena from a huge crowd. 4,029 the attendance here today. Again, their average 623. UConn continues to draw big numbers on the road. Oh, Johnson, a step back three-pointer. 20 points now for Shanice Johnson. Her career best 32 in her Cincinnati debut this season against Southeast Missouri. Molly Bent rebounded by Quisenberry. big third quarter for Connecticut, stretched this lead out. They put 34 points on the board in the third, outscored Cincinnati 34-14. Quisenberry off the mark, and it'll be Connecticut basketball. One thing you learn at Connecticut very early, Megan, is you never play the time, you never play the score. You got to play as hard as you can every minute. You saw that with Dangerfield.
And that hustle by Dangerfield kept that play alive. The nice pass from Bent to Butler. That's that effort and energy that Gino's talking about.
By playing the time of the score, meaning you don't stop playing. You can look at the scoreboard and say, well, this game's over, but you look at it when you're a Connecticut player and it's 0-0 on that scoreboard if you're on the floor.
Yeah, if you're worried about the score, you're going to end up sitting on the bench.
And even though there's only one original starter on the floor right now, you are expected to execute at the level that the starting five did.
Absolutely.
For long stretches in this game. 4 on the shot clock for UConn. They will inbound it on the baseline.
Chelsea Warren, number 25, man, she is working hard. As you see, Fisa Collier still working from the bench.
Owens. Three-pointer is good from Chelsea Warren.
I love the way this kid plays. She plays hard in that low post. She's bumping Butler up the lane. She was posting up on Kyla Irwin down the other end. So she's guarding post players, but she's knocking down threes on the offensive end.
Dangerfield will try the 2, can't get it. Butler reaches out to get the rebound, and she was bumped. She will head to the free throw line. It gives us an opportunity to answer tonight's trivia question presented by Mercedes-Benz, the last Husky to shoot 10 for 10 in a game. Well, Nafisa Collier did it tonight, but before tonight, it was Brianna Stewart against Creighton back in November of 2014. Again, Collier's line tonight. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. 5 blocks for Nafisa. And no turnovers. That was the last number I wanted to
How
come
many
up
minutes
with.
did she play?
Oh my gosh, now I'm being quizzed. 24 points in 29 minutes.
Wow.
You want to know anything else?
Efficient.
Her plus minus 53. That's pretty good.
Making the most of every minute on the floor. And it's just so effortless for Nafisa.
Shot clock down to 5. Tarver skips it over the three-pointer. And the miss is rebounded by Sinai Chong. Irwin sets for 3. And Molly Bent is the last one to touch it. Out of bounds off of UConn. Starters on the bench supporting the reserves. Stretching the lead out here. Our next UConn game on SNY will be this Saturday afternoon. We'll be back home in stores. The Huskies welcome SMU to Gamble Pavilion. Our coverage begins at 1:30 with the Connecticut Lottery pregame show, and it's only on SNY. Crystal Dangerfield with 5 assists here today. True point guard showing the part here this evening.
This is pretty cool. Watch her bring the ball up the floor. Now watch, she'll go over to her right, but she knows she's going to throw the ball inside. Watch. Now Collier's ahead of her, right? So she's going away, but all the while, she knows she's going to fire the ball down in the low post. She's an unbelievable passer.
30 assists are 2 shy of the season high in assists. Again, Dangerfield with 5 of the 30 assists on those 36 field goals.
And she hasn't even scratched the surface yet.
I think it's pretty clear she's going to be a very key piece as Irwin gets a foot on it. You hear it from Gino Auriemma when he talks about Dangerfield. Is
He's high
she
on
develops
her.
it, and it's
Yeah.
not just look at her sophomore and junior year. It's could be this year as well over these next 2-3 weeks as we get closer to tournament time. How she develops in these next few weeks could really make a huge difference if Connecticut is going to make it 5 straight national championships.
Well, you saw what she did in that Baylor game
That's right.
back in November. She played huge. For a freshman to come in, have 19 points in that contest, and really take over. She's got a presence about her and a confidence that just belies her age.
Speaking of confidence, Sanaya Chong knocks down the jumper. Sanaya now with 7 points to go along with 3 rebounds and an assist. And 19 points, 5 assists, 1 turnover in 30 minutes in that Baylor game. And big plays down the stretch in that Baylor game. Owens. Molly Bent took a bump trying to grab the rebound, and a foul will be called on Cincinnati. Quisenberry picks up her second personal foul. 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Nafisa Collier 10 for 10. That is 1 shy of the Connecticut record, 11 for 11 from the field. She could be watching tonight. Rebecca Lobo.
All right, B.
Johnson shut off. Back outside for Goings. Her 3, and Dangerfield tried to sell the fact that she didn't touch it last, but she did. So it's Cincinnati ball. Let's take you back to earlier in the game for our drive of the game presented by Buick. Sanaya Chong taking it with the left hand. Saw Katie Lou go to the left hand today. Sanaya go to the left hands.
I just love the confidence. You know, we talked about the confidence with Dangerfield, the confidence that Chong is playing with. She's earned it.
Good job defensively by Chong and Butler to team up on Johnson. Tipped out of bounds. It'll be Bearcat basketball. So UConn will be back home to take on an SMU team that they defeated January 14th, 88-48. To break their consecutive game winning streak record. They beat SMU. It'll be 99 wins in a row. This will be 98 in a row for UConn. 220 away from just making it official. Chong with a spin flips it up, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Be sure to stay with us after the game. Gary Apple, Carol Walters are standing by for the UConn women's basketball post-game show presented by People's United Bank. It's right after we're done here in Cincinnati. Eight points now for Sanaya. UConn as a team 10 of 11 from the free throw line. That's it for Sanaya. Another strong performance for the senior as Tierney Lawler will check in. It's going to be another road win for Connecticut. It's been interesting when you take a look. They'll be back at Gamble on Saturday as Irwin gets whistled for the foul. They've been at home on the road. They've played only 5 games on campus. Of course, XL and Gamble are their 2 home floors, but when you're away from the UConn campus, look how many games scheduled.
21.
This is away from stores. You know, there's that little asterisk, but, you know, on campus, as you know, you've got everything right there on campus. Even going to XL, there's a little bit of some, you know, a little taste of going on the road, even though it's a bit of a stretch, but it just shows you they'll go play anybody, anywhere, anytime.
And it's like a business trip when they come on the road.
And a foul called on Natalie Butler over the top.
And, you know, during the day today, they had study hall. And, you know, their days are very busy. They don't waste a lot of time.
But when you're on the road, and you've been in that position, obviously, as a player and as a coach, How is it different on the road in a positive sense for the coaching
no distractions,
staff?
you know, and it's a real nice way for coaches to help groom that chemistry and those intangibles on your team. Anytime you can, you know, when you travel together, it's just a whole different experience. And I think it's wonderful for the team, and there's no one better than organizing their time on the road, or at home for that matter, but Chris Daly. She has them do fun games. You know, there's never any downtime.
Dangerfield's three. Rebounded by Irwin. Irwin, little fake, and she'll score with the left hand. First points for the freshman.
More and more confidence. We talked a lot about confidence here in this fourth quarter. Kyla Irwin, a completely different player today than she was in October.
Well, this game has a feel like last year's game here against Cincinnati did when UConn had 8 players in double figures for the first time in school history. Obviously, that's not going to happen with this year's team, but I remember Gino after that game talking about how everybody was connected and on the same page. It really felt like they were very connected here today against the Cincinnati team.
Yeah, and you know, and I know the coaching staff will be thrilled about it because there was a little disconnect at times over the last couple weeks. And that's why the Gino and Chris are so good at getting players to work through their funks.
It'll be UConn basketball. The shot clock is turned off. And that should do it for the scoring here today. Dangerfield will walk it across half court. Dangerfield will dribble it out, and it's 98 in a row and counting for the Huskies. They win here in Cincinnati, 96-49 the final. And with this victory, Gino Auriemma has sole possession for the moment. 4th place all time with 978 wins. And a post-game hug for someone he really admires and respects, Jamel Elliott. Cincinnati playing better than we've seen in recent years, but today UConn was on their game against the Bearcats, and they end up winning by 47 points, 96-49 the final, behind just about a perfect performance by Nafisa Collier, 10 for 10 from the field, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 24 points to lead UConn in scoring. Katie Lou Samuelson also hit the 20-point mark today. That's the 12th time she's gone for 20 or more. And for Nafisa, she's gone for 20 or more for a 12th time. Sophomore class getting it done one more time. But again, this was a team performance for the top-ranked Huskies. 96 points on the board, and UConn is now 23-0 on the season. Let's hear from Gino with Justine.
Gino, how has Nafisa Collier transformed into such an efficient player?
It's unbelievable. We were talking about that on the bench, that you know, she only played 26 minutes, and it's just incredible what she can get done in a short period of time. She is just incredibly efficient. You're absolutely right. She gets great shots. There isn't anything on the offensive end that she can't do. I mean, I knew she was good, obviously, when I saw her play in high school, but the improvement that she's made from last year to this year is just absolutely remarkable. I mean, she's playing about as well as anybody in the country at this point.
Effort is something you talked about a lot before this game. What kind of work ethic did you see from the team overall tonight?
I thought our defense was really, really good. You know, for us, it's all about staying engaged. You know, every possession. We have a tendency when we score a lot of points to just kind of, you know, we want to put it in, and that's natural. I mean, I get it. I just don't. I don't think that's the way to go down the road. But you know, kids are kids, and they're not robots, and they're not going to play great every night, and they're not going to do everything perfect every night. But we get it right most of the time, and you know me, I'm so kind and understanding and sympathetic when they don't get it right, right?
All right, Gino, thank you. Safe travels back home. Eric, back to you.
I don't buy that, Gino. There's dripping sarcasm down his chin a little bit. We'll be back to Fifth Third Arena for more on this win for UConn over Cincinnati in a moment.